Good morning. Today we'll start with pressure and fluid statics. Rotation in a cylindrical container. We know from experience that when a glass filled with water is rotated about its axis, the fluid is forced outward as a result of the so-called centrifugal force, and the free surface of the liquid becomes concave. This is known as force vortex motion. Consider a vertical cylinder container partially filled with the liquid. The container is now rotated about its axis at a constant angular velocity of omega, as shown in figure. You can see this container is rotated. After initial transit, the liquid will move as a rigid body together with the container. There is no deformation and thus there can be no shear stress, and every fluid particle in the container moves with the same angular velocity. So this problem is best analyzed in cylindrical coordinates r, theta, z, with z taken along the center line of the container directed from the bottom toward the free surface. Since the shape of container is cylindrical and the fluid particles undergo circular motion, the centripetal acceleration of a fluid particle rotating with a constant angular velocity of omega at a distance r from the axis of rotation is r omega square and is directed radially toward the axis of rotation, that is ar is equal to minus r omega square. In the radial direction, there is a symmetry about the z axis, which is the axis of rotation, and thus there is no theta dependence. So you can take this equation and you can replace x, y and z by r, theta, z. The equation will convert to this, that pressure variation with respect to radial direction that we have discussed, that is r omega square. In the radial direction, this is your acceleration, which is r omega square. In case of theta, it is 0 because the symmetry about the z axis, so there is no theta dependence, and then del p by del z in z is equal to minus rho g. So this rho g is due to the weight of the liquid due to the gravity. So this is due to gravity part. Now the total pressure P is equal to, pressure is a function of r and z, because theta is, with the theta there is no variation, so pressure is a function of r and z. You can write in differential form that dp is equal to del p by del r into dr plus del p by del z into dz. So you can place this del p by del r here, which is rho r omega square, and you can place this del p by del z, which is minus rho g, in this equation. You will get this equation. Now same container, so this is the isobar pressure line, this line. So this line has constant pressure throughout on this surface. This is P2. These are constant pressure lines. So it means you can put dp is equal to 0. By putting dp is equal to 0, you will get this dz become dz isobar. So the equation for surface of constant pressure is obtained by setting dp 0 and replacing z by z isobar, which is the z value of the surface as a function of r. So it will give, so equate this equation to 0, you will get this equation, dz isobar by dr is equal to r omega square by g. So this is zs, that is distance from the bottom to the free surface. This is hc, which is the distance of the bottom from the free surface at the center. You can also observe from this equation, if this omega is 0, means fluid is not rotating. In that case, this dz isobar is equal to 0, or you can say this del z is equal to 0, that the fluid will become level to the, it will become in equal level throughout the container. Now if you integrate this equation, and on integration you will get z isobar is equal to omega square by 2g r square plus c1, which is constant of proportionality. This equation resembles the parabola equation. So it means this profile of the liquid represents a parabola. Thus we conclude that the surface of constant pressure, including the free surface, are paraboloids of revolution. The value of integration constant C1, this is different for different paraboloids of constant pressure. It means for different isobars. Means this C1 will vary for this isobar, this isobar, this isobar. So we will say that Z isobar we will take at 0. For the free surface, setting R is equal to 0. Means for this surface, when you put R is equal to 0, your this height which is Z, it will become HC. Means this HC. So this C1 become HC, where HC is the distance of free surface from the bottom of container along the axis of rotation. So when you put here HC, your ZS is equal to omega square by 2g r square plus SC. So ZS is the distance of free surface from the bottom of container at radius r. So this is your ZS. ZS represents this distance from the bottom to the free surface at a r distance from this axis. So if r is 0, ZS become HC. The volume of cylindrical shell element of radius r, height ZS and thickness dr is dV is equal to 2 pi r ZS dr. Now if you want to calculate this volume of the whole fluid, so that can be calculated by integrating this element which is dV from r is equal to 0 to r. So that is 2 pi ZS r dr. After integration, you will get this value here. Now consider carefully this value here, which is omega square r square by 4g plus SC, must be equal to this H0, where H0 is the height of the free surface in container when your fluid is not rotating, means that stable position. Means this H0, when your fluid is not rotating, the volume during that fluid must be same as the volume which we had calculated, equal to this volume. Upon equating, you will get H0 is equal to Hc plus omega square r square by 4g. Now Hc is equal to H0 minus omega square r square by 4g, where Hc is height of the fluid in the container at the axis of rotation. Now we have calculated Hc. You can put this Hc here and you will get Zs, which is at free surface, which is height of free surface. Now if you have to find Zs, Zs is a function of r, means it will vary when you move along the radial direction. So when r is equal to r, means Z is highest. So this Z is highest at this point and Z is lowest at this point. At the lowest point r is 0, and when you take the difference, you will get the maximum height difference, which is del Zs maximum, which is omega square by 2g r square. Means you will get this and this both difference del Zs. This represents the surface at the center and the level of liquid surface at the when your r is equal to at this corner, that is capital R. The pressure difference between 2 points 1 and 2 in the fluid is determined by integrate this equation. If you integrate between 1 and 2, you will get P2 minus P1 is equal to density omega square by 2 into R2 square minus R1 square minus density G Z2 minus Z1. Taking point 1 to be the origin, means R is equal to 0, Z is equal to 0, where the pressure is P0, and the point 2 to be any point in the fluid. So the pressure distribution can be expressed as P is equal to P0 density omega square by 2 into R square minus density ZZ. Note that at a fixed radius, the pressure varies hydrostatically in the vertical direction as in a fluid at rest. For a fixed vertical distance Z, the pressure varies with the square of radial distance R, increasing from the center line toward the outer edge. In any horizontal plane, the pressure difference between the center and edge of the container of radius r is del P is equal to density omega square r square by 2. Means the difference of the pressure at this point and at this point in the horizontal direction is equal to this pressure. So this is about the pressure distribution and level of rise of water with respect to radial direction in a cylindrical container. Subscribe this channel, like this video, and thank you for watching this video.